Hey folks, Jason, painfully honest tech, so honest it hurts. Well, it used to be, or it still is. I'm not exactly sure. Today we're going to do a quick 5-minute review of these. These are the Sony WH1000XM5s, the brand new-ish noise-canceling headphones from the good folks over at Sony. They are the successor to these, the XM4s. I'm going to talk about how they sound compared to those, and then I'm also going to talk about how they sound compared to these. Before I get started, let me tell you there are links in the description to everything that's here. If you want to check those links out, then you can do that. And anything that you go to from those links helps me help you with more video stuff. You can subscribe if you want to come back for more videos. You could leave a comment down below, and also follow me over on Amazon Live. Go to amazon.com/users/painfully honest tech. Hit that follow button, because I do streams over on Amazon all the time where I'm always finding deals, sales on these kinds of things. So with that all said, let's go. The first thing we're going to talk about with these guys is the cosmetics. The cosmetics, the look, the feel. For the most part, they are very nice looking. They have a different design this time than they did before, as you can see. A little bit more squared off in some places, a little bit more conical, a little bit more, I guess, modern looking. They've changed some things from the previous ones. It's all plastic now, which is not necessarily a bad thing. One thing I will say about the feel of these is that they are lighter than the previous ones by just a little bit, or at least they feel like it to me, because there's no metal in this build like there is in this. You have just a very light headphone. I mean, what you give up is the ability to fold them in like this, but they do lay flat. They come with their own case so that you can slide them into the case, and the case will slide nicely into a backpack, so that's always good. The next thing that we should talk about is app support. These things have both Apple and Android support. They have their own app. The app has all kinds of different things. They have this adaptive sound thing where they can tell what kind of activity that you're doing, whether you're sitting down and just hanging out, or if you're out and about moving around, and it adjusts the noise canceling to that. The noise canceling itself is probably the best noise cancellation that I've heard in these Sonys. I've heard every version of these Sonys, and the noise cancellation on these is the best that I've heard. The best way I can describe it is to say that I was working one morning and my neighbor was cutting down a tree, and so there was a chainsaw and wood chipper and all kinds of things going. Couldn't concentrate, so I went ahead and I got these out. I put them on. No music, no nothing going on, just noise cancellation, and the sound just went away. Like I couldn't hear it anymore. So that was pretty impressive. I was pretty impressed with that, even to the point where after 5 minutes or so, I still didn't hear anything. So I lifted them off to see if they were still doing it, and they were still doing the work. So very impressive. The battery life, 30 plus hours of battery life. They have just a couple of controls on the device themselves. I mean, we've got power and Bluetooth pairing, and then noise cancellation and ambient mode here. Those are the only two buttons that are on here. And then everything else is controlled by touch. So you tap to start and stop, and you slide or forwards and backwards to go track by track, up and down for volume. You can also use Alexa or Google Assistant to do those things as well. If you're looking for a full-featured set of headphones that are going to be able to be really adjustable with EQ and all that kind of stuff, they also have 360 audio that you can do. The 360 audio, you can do it in a couple of different ways. You can just sort of turn it on, and it'll give you sort of a surround sound feel, or you can take pictures of your ears and upload it to a thing. And see, I haven't done that yet, but 360 audio, similar to spatial audio that Apple has and that kind of thing. And not everything supports it, but it will fake it. It's not necessarily my bag, but some people really dig it. So if that's something that you're looking for, then you can do that. The next thing we should talk about is sound. And sound is, I guess, what's really probably the most important thing you could have going on with a pair of headphones. And I have to admit, I was actually very, very surprisingly impressed with the sound of these. Now, the noise cancellation on the WH1000XM4s was great. The fit was great. They're very light. They're very easy to put on. They're very easy to wear for a long time. But the one thing that wasn't great with them in my estimation was the sound. The sound was a little dull, and that's probably the best way that I could put it. It didn't have a crisp top end. It didn't have a nice full snappy bass. It just was kind of dull. And not to the point where it sounded bad, but to me, $400 for a set of headphones, I wanted a little bit more out of the sound of these. So when the AirPods Pro came out, that's when I really realized that there was something else possible. Now, the AirPods Pro are a much more expensive headphone, so, you know, you get what you pay for, I guess, but still, at $400, you want high-quality sound, and these just weren't quite there for me quite yet. Sony must have listened to the people who complained about the XM4s, because the XM5s sound really, really fantastic. Now, the question is, if we're beating the XM4s, that's what we wanted to have happen. That was the minimum requirement for these to be a possible recommendation. How do they sound compared to the AirPods Pro, which were my favorite noise cancellation headphones up until this point? I'm glad you asked. I was listening to some ambient stuff. I was listening to some acoustic guitar-based stuff. I was listening to some rock. I was listening to some classical. I was listening to a little bit of everything as I paged through this playlist. And I had, the nice thing is I was able to hook all of these up to my phone at the same time, so I could just swap back and forth and really do a nice comparison. And I'm surprised I'm going to say this. The XM5s, from a sound standpoint, to my ears, beat the AirPods Pro. The AirPods Pro have come down in price from $549 to usually around $500 to $400, somewhere in that range, depending on sales. You can always find them on sale someplace. These are, as I said, $400 all day long, and they will come down in price and go on sale eventually, but to this point, I haven't seen them on sale anywhere over on Amazon or anywhere like that. When you bring the XM4s back into the mix, now you're kind of talking apples to apples. There's, you know, roughly $50 difference between all of these headphones. You've got the XM4s that are $350 and go on sale quite frequently, but the sound signature is not all that great. You've got the AirPods Pro, which are more premium feeling than either of these headphones because they don't have any plastic in the build. However, the aluminum ear cups are heavy. The balance of the headphones on your head is not really all that great because of the heaviness of them. They are comfortable to wear, but they're not as sure on the head as these are. And then right here in the middle, you have like the Goldilocks, this is just right kind of situation where the XM5s fixed the problems that I had with this, caught up to these, and then also made themselves lighter and more comfortable. So I have to say, as much as I've reviewed all of these headphones positively, as much as the XM4s were a recommendation last year, as much as the AirPods Pro have been my favorite headphones for a while, and I still do like them very much, the XM5s surprised me. They have that great sound signature. They have the features that Sony puts in, the noise cancellation, all of the different bells and whistles that come along with the app and that kind of thing. Sony has really dialed that in to where if you don't use it, it's okay. But if you do, it really does add value to the headset. My one negative point is that, again, I always seem to have trouble with Sony's colors, and these are supposed to be sand. That's what they called them. And I'd never gotten the light color of these before, so I figured I'd get the light color just to see what they were all about. And this is just tan, a beige, I guess. And it's not a very exciting color, and it just looks a little dull to my taste. So be that as it may, they are still the luxury noise canceling headphone out there to beat at this point. Apple's going to have to come out with AirPods Pro 2. I'd love to see them a little bit lighter. I'd love to see them have a little bit better ventilation. I'd love to see them, there's some things that can be fixed. If you have any questions, hit me up down there as well. I'm always checking the comments to see if there are any questions, and I'm happy to answer. Do go over to Amazon and follow me. That's amazon.com/users/painfully honest tech. Like, subscribe, bell notify, all those kinds of things. Once again, my name is Jason T. Lewis, sometimes known as the JTL, formerly kind of still known as Painfully Honest Tech. Until the next time, I'm out.